I wasn't born into wealth. I wasn't born into opportunity. I was born into uncertainty. And that single fact has shaped every part of my life. My name is Changpeng Zhao, but you might know me as CZ. This is my story, not just of building an empire, but of a life built on principles forged in hardship. It all starts in Jiangsu, China, in a home where ideas were our most valuable currency. My parents were both teachers, thinkers. They taught me that knowledge and discipline were more important than any material comfort. But in the world outside our home, those very ideas were seen as a threat. My father was branded a pro-bourgeois intellectual and exiled from his own country. Suddenly, our world was turned upside down. We left China behind, landing in Canada with little more than the clothes on our backs and a hope for something better. Imagine it, a new country, a new language I barely spoke, a culture that felt alien, and a cold that seemed to seep into your bones. We were a family, starting from absolute zero. Survival became my first real education. By the time I was 14, I was working the night shift at McDonald's, flipping burgers and feeling the heat of the grill. I worked at a gas station. I bagged groceries. I took on any job I could find, not just for the money, but for something far more valuable: responsibility. Responsibility is the ultimate teacher. It forces you to show up, to be accountable, to grow up fast. Those early jobs taught me more about discipline and hard work than any classroom ever could. They taught me that value isn't given, it's earned. When it came time for university, the choice was clear. I immersed myself in computer science. It was like learning the language of the universe. I learned to think in systems, to see the world through the beautiful, unyielding lens of logic. More than anything, I began to see how technology wasn't just about code. It was a tool that could fundamentally change lives, reshape societies, and empower individuals. My career took me across the globe. I worked in the fast-paced financial hubs of Tokyo and New York, then back to the booming metropolis of Shanghai. I wasn't just writing code. I was building the very engines of modern finance. I dove deep into trading systems, high-frequency algorithms, and the intricate architecture of the financial world. I wasn't chasing a fancy title or a big paycheck. I was on a relentless chase for competence, for mastery. I wanted to understand how the global money machine worked from the inside out. And then, one day, a friend handed me something that would change everything: the Bitcoin white paper. I read it once, and it was intriguing. I read it a second time, and a light bulb went on. By the 10th time I read it, my entire worldview had shifted. It wasn't just a digital currency. It was a new paradigm, a system built on transparency, decentralization, and individual sovereignty. It was the logical conclusion of everything I had learned about technology and finance. Something inside me just clicked. I knew I couldn't stand on the sidelines. This was the future, and I had to be a part of it. So I did what most people would call crazy. I quit my stable, high-paying job. I sold my apartment in Shanghai, the only real asset I had to my name, and I put every single dollar into crypto. The reaction was predictable. Friends said I was throwing my life away. Colleagues told me I was insane. People I respected laughed and dismissed crypto as a passing fad, a worthless digital token. But they saw a gamble. I saw a revolution. While they were laughing, I was building. I believed in the technology, in the mathematics, and most of all, in the philosophy behind it. In 2017, after years of immersion in the crypto space, I took the biggest leap of all. I launched Binance. We were a tiny team with a ridiculously massive vision to make crypto accessible to anyone, anywhere in the world, at any time. We wanted to build a platform that was not just powerful, but also simple and intuitive enough for everyone to use. We wanted to break down the financial barriers that had existed for centuries, and the world responded. The growth was explosive, unlike anything I had ever witnessed. Binance became the fastest-growing exchange in history. We weren't just acquiring users. We were building a global community. Millions of people, from all corners of the earth, joined the movement. It was more than just a company. It was a financial revolution happening in real time, moving at the speed of code. But with meteoric growth comes immense pressure. Regulatory bodies woke up. Governments became scrutinous. The challenges were immense, coming from every direction. But true leadership isn't about avoiding storms. It is about learning to navigate through them with a clear compass and an unwavering hand on the wheel. It's about facing the challenges head on, with transparency and a commitment to doing the right thing, even when it's the hard thing. My journey has been a whirlwind, taking me across continents and through cycles of incredible innovation, fierce competition, and powerful resistance. But through it all, one core belief has remained my North Star. Crypto is not just about technology. It's not just about charts and numbers. Crypto is about freedom. The freedom to control your own assets, to transact without intermediaries, to participate in a global economy on your own terms. And freedom, as history has always taught us, is never free. It comes with a price. It demands responsibility. It demands resilience. And it demands an unshakable belief in a better future. I am CZ. My name is Changpeng Zhao, and my mission, the mission that started with a paper and a crazy idea, has never changed: to build a world where every single person has the freedom and the power to control their own money. The journey is far from over. In fact, we are just getting started. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to follow for more on this journey.